Hi, I'm Susan with the Donley Auctions Hour. Thanks for joining us. You can find us right here on WLS 890 AM every Saturday evening. I'm in the studio today with Randy Donley, my partner in crime here, and co-owner of the company, and Mr. Ryan, our sports collectibles expert. Hello, gentlemen. How are things going this week at Donley Auctions?
Oh, Susan, great, but I just want to comment to everybody out there, I don't know that we're partners in crime.
No,
Thank
you're right.
you.
I probably should have used a different word than
Oh,
crime.
yeah, Donley Auctions Hours. your criminal conspiracy here
Oh, gosh.
on 890.
Yeah, wrong use of words, my partner in life. How about that?
So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously our show is all about the auction world. We run an auction house in Union, Illinois, and we do monthly auctions. And the purpose of this show is to both let you know how to sell your merchandise or items that you have, your treasures, how to sell them at auction, and also to let everybody know out there who are buyers of antiques and precious items how to get to our auction site.
That's right. And in case you did not know where Union, Illinois is, we are located just 50 miles west of Chicago off of I-90. What a great location to come out on a road trip to visit us at one of our auctions. We hold them once a month. And if you want to check out the calendar, go to donleyauctions.com.
So, Susan, we might as well jump right in and talk about
Let's
our
jump.
August 16th auction.
Yes, August 16th. Mark your calendars, everyone. It is Saturday, August 16th. It's our summer classic. And the reason we call it that is why?
Well, it is
Let me tell you.
classic auction. We're selling all kinds of really interesting items, such as coin-operated items. We're selling slot machines. We're selling jukeboxes, pinball machines, anything coin-operated, as well as just about everything else in advertising. We have great neon signs. We have old beer signs. You name it in signs, we have it here. Petroliana. We've got some vintage cars. We've got motorcycles. Just about anything that you could possibly want for a man cave or she shed, we sell right here at Donley Auctions.
Yeah, how about that 69 Dodge Charger that's coming up?
Nice vehicle.
Great vehicle.
Yeah, it
Any
really
muscle
is.
heads out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's signal green. It's
And
a beauty.
this vehicle only has 40,000 original miles on it, and it's a one family-owned car. Mother transferred it down to her son when he became driving age, and it's been in one family all these years. But we're here today with Ryan Boyle.
Yes.
Hey,
Hey,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
And Ryan, you obviously to us, you are our toy expert, toys, but more importantly, sports memorabilia. Oh my God, sports items are just exploding in value. And what have you got coming up for us in sports?
I'll tell you, I just came back from the national convention on Thursday, and I have to tell you, there had to be thousands, probably
thousands of people
20,
there.
30,000 people. I mean, I got there at 2, but if you got there at 9, there was a 2-hour wait list or wait in the line to get in the door.
I saw the line all the way down the street.
It was like a
crazy.
concert. It was like literally
Yeah.
like this great event that I'll tell you, I obviously work a lot of shows here, and I gotta say that was one of the coolest experiences that I've been part of any of these shows I've ever gone to. I would liken it to something that would have been on at like Las Vegas or something like that.
Did you get to see Tom Brady?
Yes, I did, and I waved to him, and he
Tell him,
didn't
call
wave
me.
back to me.
Call me, yeah. I got to
well-
go to the show next time.
I'll call him this afternoon and,
Yeah, we'll call
just
Tom.
have a nice talk with him, then find out what's going on.
It was kind of a funny story. Part of my reason of being there was to get the Jackie Robinson autographed baseball that we had talked about last week authenticated. So as I go and get in line, at first I say, and then they see the magnitude of what I have. Oh, hey, come here, this way. And so then they start literally like bringing me around, bun people in line with this ball. And as I'm walking, I'm wearing my Donley Auction shirt. and a gentleman says, "Hey, do you work for Donley Auctions?" I said, "Yeah." And mind you, I'm following this other lady, and I got the
You're being
baseball.
escorted.
Yeah, and like, hey, and then she's like, "Oh, by the way, Neil's gonna be coming to my house tomorrow to pick up a large gun collection."
Nice.
So I said, "Well, here's my card. Certainly, if you have any of this material, I'd love to see that too."
That's
So
great. You're a walking billboard for
we're,
sure.
We're,
Yeah.
we're known.
That's great.
Well, and we really are. One thing you just mentioned is guns. We're kind of going to be all over the board with this radio show today, because we're first and foremost talking about the August 16th auction, trying to let you all know what we have in there. But we go in so many different directions at this auction house, because not only do we specialize in coin operated and every advertising and all the things in sports memorabilia, but just like what happened to Ryan, people know us for so many different things. For example, guns is one of our big specialties here at Donley Auctions. So if you do have anything in firearms of any kind, whether it's one item or an entire collection. I mean, we have people all the time that call us with hundreds of guns. There's not too many to consign to our auction. There's never that amount. And we do war souvenirs also. We do uniforms and weapons of all wars, but primarily the big value right now is in World War II uniforms and helmets, insignia, and so on and so forth.
That's right. And we do have a firearms and military auction coming up September 20th and 21st. So if you do have anything in your house that you would like to try at auction, please give us a call at 815-923-7000. We will definitely walk you through the next steps. Give us a call, because we will tell you honestly what you should do with those items. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I'm currently looking for old guns and military items for upcoming auctions. Old helmets, uniforms, swords, flags, and daggers from any wars are always sought after, but World War II items of American, German, and Japanese armies are always top seller. If you have old Japanese samurai-type swords that a relative brought back during the war, call me, because you could be sitting on a fortune.
But you won't know until you give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Or you can send us photos at consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com.
I say this every radio show. I like to always think, if I were sitting home right now listening to the Donley Auctions Hour, what would I be thinking? Because the radio is just that. It is radio. It's non-visual, and we try to explain to you what we're talking about and what you should be thinking about. But it would be so easy if you went right now either to your phones or your computers and looked up DonleyAuctions.com. You can kind of follow along with us and have a better visual experience, because we have all of our auctions online. For example, the auction coming up in August 16th, you could actually go to DonleyAuctions.com right now and view the whole auction. Each and every item is online, and you could actually, if you were so inclined, to start bidding on these items.
That's right. And just for those of you who need to hear it again, it's Donley, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. And if you want to come out to Union, like I said, we're 50 miles west of Chicago. It's really easy to get here. We're just 4 miles north of I-90, but we have a preview the night before the August 16th auction from noon until 7 p.m. on Friday. If you want to come out, see who we are, meet us, check out our auction house, look at the items, touch them, feel them, smell them. Before you bid on Saturday, you have plenty of time to do that. The auction starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday, August 16th, but the doors open at 8 a.m. for coffee and donuts. Don't miss it.
So, again, we're here with Ryan Boyle, our expert in sports memorabilia, our expert in toys,
And lots of things, yes.
our expert in coins.
Yep.
You happen to be a trifecta. In all these fields, you have extreme expertise, and we do have all these items actually coming up in the Summer Classic. But talk to our listeners out there about what they should do, how to contact you for coins, for example.
Well, that they could either email consign at Donley Auctions with an S.com and or call us directly at
815-923-7000.
Now, let everybody know how to sell coins. The best way is for you to come out to their homes, actually, and evaluate their coin collections.
Absolutely. So my background is I worked at one of Chicagoland's largest coin stores for over a decade. And so what I can offer is I know how coin stores buy, and then I know how to market items. So basically, I present your collection as exactly as if it was my own. So, I know the best manners to run stuff, and I know some stuff would be better off graded, some stuff you really don't want to get graded. Some stuff is common. With coins, you really have. If you go into a coin store, they're not necessarily going to start talking about key or better dates, and that's what you're looking for. Especially like with Morgan dollars, the most common or the most known one would be the Carson City, with the CC mint mark on the back. All of those, in rough condition, minimally worth $100, probably a little bit more. If they're in AU or mint, thousands and thousands. So that's kind of my background, is being able to identify these items and then knowing what to do with them.
Well, you once said to me, when you worked for the coin store, your job as a buyer for coin stores was to try to buy as cheap as you could.
Absolutely.
I mean, you definitely want to. Good coin stores are always going to want to give people a fair break. There's no doubt about it. An honest, legitimate coin store is just that. They're honest and legitimate. But still, as a buyer, their job is to try to buy for the store and get the best deal they can. Whereas an auction is really kind of just the opposite.
The opposite.
Because what we're trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is get you the most money, because we take a percentage, but the percentage is almost always way less than if you were selling outright, because again, their job is to try to get a better deal. We're trying to get you the most money we can, but our commission remains the same percentage regardless of how high. So we kind of make money together. The more we get you, the more we make ourselves. So our incentive is to get you the highest price.
Exactly. And so my former life, basically anything that would come in, I have to pay a septic for it in order to retain ownership of it. So I want to buy it from you for as little as possible. And then basically we kick it to the guy in the basement, who coincidentally was me. And then I would determine, we could either melt items, we could resell items, we could put them on eBay, we could put them on our display cases, we could wholesale items. There's a myriad of options to get rid of items, but that's the back part. Here, I'm, truly, if you're hoping for $200, I'm hoping for $400. This is what I do, and this is what I get excited about. I truly enjoy working, and what I truly enjoy doing is looking at people's collections and, kind of bun up to what we're getting at. I like to help people, and on the other side of the coin, you're kind of being a little evasive and taking advantage of the situation. Whereas here, I love to tell people, you know what that is? Oh, no, it's $1,000 coin. That's what I love to tell people. Conversely, what I hate telling people is that's not $1,000 coin.
Right.
And I get that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I love about the integrity and honesty of our employees here. We'll tell you exactly. We'll tell you exactly what it's worth.
Yeah, good and bad. Sometimes
Good
you
and
got to
bad.
hear the truth, and
sure.
you don't necessarily want it. But on the other hand, the truth gives you the tools to make the proper decision as to how you want to go about something. In which case, I was just at a woman's home the other day, and she had some items for consignment, and I said, they have so little value. Wouldn't it make more sense just to give them away to family and friends? And she said, well, yeah. She said, if that's all it's worth, she said, I really appreciate that. She said, because actually, I would like to give some of those things away. And now that I know they're not valuable or real valuable, she said, I can do just that.
So what's the first thing you have to do? Call us. You have to pull the trigger and call us at 815-923-7000. Better yet, send us an email, and the email address is consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions.com. All Ryan really needs to know is what you have, where you're located, your phone number, and some photos if possible. And then he will make that call and set up an appointment with you, whether it's here at our location or if he's going to take a road trip.
And a road trip, Susan.
Speaking of road trips,
we need to let everybody know that we travel all across the country. I mean, yes, we're based in the Chicago area, but that doesn't mean that if you're not a suburb, we don't go out to see you.
I was hoping we'd find somebody in Hawaii that has a collection I can come see.
Well, that's Susan,
anybody in Hawaii.
You'll be on your own with that one.
I've
I'm not
never
taking
been
a
there.
10-hour flight.
You'll come with me.
Coincidentally, I just got a call before I came into the studio from a consigner from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and he said that he keeps seeing my face on Facebook.
Yes.
And basically, I believe he had 2,000 slab cards. I believe he said he had the number one registry for PSA from 1952 to present.
Wow.
A really
good.
nice collection. So,
Got to get it to Michigan.
yeah, no, I'll be there tomorrow or the next day.
Well, and that's it, folks. We do travel all over, so don't hesitate to let us know, because when we come out to evaluate your collection, that's at a no obligation fee. We do not charge to come out and evaluate. And now, what about transportation if we end up consigning a collection? Now, it all depends on the size and the value of a collection. Many times we've flown out to Florida and rented trucks and driven it back at our own expense because the collection was valuable and it was worth it to us to do that. Now, that's not always the case, but we never charge more than real cost. If I have to hire a couple guys and a truck to drive your collection back, that's all you're being charged. We have no upcharge on top of that. But many times we're transporting collections at our expense for free to you.
You want to talk a little bit about what commission means for our new listeners out there who might not understand how our commission scale works?
Well, that's interesting because, I always am talking like as if everybody knows how an auction works, when in reality, yes, Susan, we are charging you a commission, which means a percentage of what the item actually sells for. Now, let's just say we sell something for $1,000 and the commission could be at that point in time 20%. Well, you're paying $200, yes, to have us sell it for you. However, for that, what we've done in most cases is pick up the item, describe the item, research the item, photograph the item, pay to have them put online websites, online marketing, and sold. And then after we sell it, we have to collect the money. $800 goes directly to you. We send that out inside 30 days, and we then have to ship the item. So believe me, we work for our commission. We work for you to get the top dollar that we possibly can.
It's definitely a partnership.
It really is. It really is.
Good. Thanks for that. I'm sure everyone appreciates hearing.
I'd like to circle back, if we could, and talk more about this August 16th auction that we have coming up, because there's some really interesting items in there. For example, I saw you, Susan, I saw you yesterday actually bowling on a United a bowling game. We have a couple bowling games in there. One is referred to as a ball bowler, where it's actually, the one you were playing actually has a physical rolling ball on the game.
That's right. And from what I'm hearing, the little rumblings around is that it is extremely rare. And why is it rare? Because it's only 11 feet long. Is that right?
Exactly.
It's one of the shorter versions that easily fit into people's homes, where the long ones, everybody had such a problem trying to get it in
Yes,
their basement.
bowling games, all these games were originally made commercially for locations to be out there to make money on. They're coin-operated devices, so many of these all went into bars, taverns, all these commercial venues. So space was not an issue originally when these things were made. For example, in bowling, is it a fact that a real lane is like 60 foot?
In the real game of bowling, 10-pin
Right.
bowling is 60 feet.
It was not unusual for bowling games to be 12, 14, 18 feet, sometimes over 20 feet long. And to put that in an average home today is just a little uncomfortable. So this particular game that we have is probably the shortest ball bowler made.
That's great.
And what is it, 11 feet, did you say?
It's 11 feet long, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's perfect for anyone with a man cave or somewhere in their basement. It's a perfect item. It's coming up in our August 16th auction. We'll have the lot number here for you shortly. But back to the game of bowling in general, did you know the first indoor bowling was in New York City in 1840? That's when bowling started.
I can't imagine
and
that.
it first televised in 1950, and that's when it became popular across America.
Wow, 1950.
1950, yes.
Wow. Well, I used to, as a kid, I used to actually watch bowling on television, and back then my favorite bowling star was Ray Bluth. So you can look that up on your computers and look up old Ray Bluth. He was quite the bowling star on television back in the day.
The best Americans, as we know, is Earl Anthony. Remember him? And Pete Weber.
No.
Yeah, those are some of the best American bowlers we have right now.
I'll be darned.
So the bowler coming up August 16th. Check it out on our catalog, too, if you want to see photos of it at DonleyAuctions.com.
All kinds of vintage pinball machines are for sale. I saw our pinball expert tuning up a game called Fireball. Anybody remember Fireball? Or is that way beyond you too?
No, I saw him walking in, but no.
Yeah, I saw. So very often what we'll do is have our expert go over and put new rubber grommets and everything on these machines, make sure they're all what we refer to as shopped, so that when you get one, it is in great condition, ready to go. And we make that happen for sure.
I do want to make a note that when you do send us an email, when you tell us, hey, I've got some pinball machines, you need to tell us where it's located. Because sometimes we get there and we find out it's in a basement and hard to get up those stairs. So definitely let us know where you're located, because we will make sure we can get it out of there in advance with the right equipment.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's it. We just need to know because of the equipment, so we're bringing the right tools and right amount of guys. You know, one guy cannot get a pinball machine out of a basement, no matter how he tries. We need to know that. Whereas
sometimes they need to be taken apart too.
That's correct.
To get them out. So It's always good to know. Send us photos of what you have. DonleyAuctions.com.
So, what else do we have? Advertising.
A lot of really cool advertising. A lot of pop advertising. A lot of pop coolers.
Pop is in soda pop?
Soda pop. Yeah, I call it pop. Yeah, what can I say? A lot of cool advertising. I know that that Chicago Motor Club sign.
Oh, that's insane. Really nice. It started its life as a porcelain Chicago Motor Club sign, and over the years, neon has been added to it, and what a great piece that is.
It makes it pop. It really does.
And I saw that beautiful Packard sign in there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
That's a neon as well.
And it's an original. Mm-hmm. It's an original, probably from the 30s, but it's all been restored and it is ready to go.
Well, I'll tell you, one of my favorite items is that Orange Crush dispenser.
Yeah.
It is fully restored and it's on a stand.
Right.
Isn't that just a beautiful piece?
It is. I mean, the restoration on some of these items is phenomenal. And a lot of these things came out of private collections. They're now being offered for sale. You know, whether somebody in the family has passed away and the family is selling these items, or sometimes people just need to move stuff down the line, and here it is at Donley Auctions.
Well, one of the things I like to do is the history of these items. Yes, it's a great Orange Crush dispenser, but tell me a little bit about Orange Crush. Well, let me tell you. It was invented in 1911 by Howell and Ward in Chicago. In Chicago, I did not know that. And they used to bottle their early liquids with fake orange pulp to mimic fresh squeezed orange juice.
Oh,
because
my
they wanted
goodness.
to make it sound like it was a healthy drink, but it was fake orange pulp. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's doing just fine now because I heard you can actually buy bucketfuls of it at the Baltimore Orioles games.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, they had a mascot named Crushy. He was the cheerful little orange character who starred in all their ads, and he's become a collector's favorite. So again, this beautiful, fully restored Orange Crush dispenser coming up in our August 16th auction.
Wow. Well, all kinds of goodies. I saw, Ryan, that you actually have a bunch of gold jewelry in this auction also.
Yes, we have some gold. We have a nice run of jewelry in general. We have some nice Tiffany. We have some gold necklaces. A nice assortment, I'd say, overall.
Great. Well, let's get everybody back to our website at donleyauctions.com to look at that list of items that we have.
Yeah, and we can talk more about that in the next segment.
Yeah, because I also have a trivia question, and I promise I'll give you the answer.
Ooh.
If you hang with us, don't go anywhere. You got to come back to the Donley Auctions Hour after a few commercial breaks. But here's the trivia question. What item was introduced at the 1893 Chicago World's Columbian Exposition alongside Cracker Jack and Quaker Oats? That's your question for now, folks. Come back and listen to the Donley Auctions Hour right after this break. Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. Thanks for hanging with us during that break. We are here every Saturday on WLS 890 AM. And in our last segment, I gave you guys a little trivia question. I'll repeat it real quick. What item was introduced at the 1893 Chicago World's Columbian Exposition alongside Cracker Jack and Quaker Oats? Any guesses?
Yeah, I think I know the answer to this. Of course, the ice cream cone. Having had a booth at the World's Fair, running out of the bowls, the booth that was selling ice cream actually went to the booth next to them that was making waffles, little homemade waffles, and they asked them if they could shape it into a little funnel so that they could put the ice cream into the what became known as the ice cream cone. Because back in the day, bowls were not disposable.
Right.
They actually had to wash the bowls in between every serving of ice cream. So they ran out of bowls and ultimately invented the ice cream cone.
Wow, Randy, that is a great answer,
That
but
is.
it is not correct.
What do I win? What do you mean not correct?
That is the St. Louis World's Fair 1904. I'm talking 1893.
Oh.
And the answer is juicy fruit gum.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because in this August 16th Summer Classic, we have some great advertising items that came from general stores, pharmacies,
Sure.
drugstores, that kind of thing. And of course, gum was very popular back then. And despite its name, no one ever really knew what juicy fruit's flavor was.
Wow,
They
that
didn't
is
know what it
interesting.
was, yeah.
It's funny because as you say it, I could taste juicy fruit in my
I can smell it.
in my mind
Yeah.
right now. But what is it distinctively? I don't know.
It's the theories say it's banana and pineapple, or
Wow.
possibly jackfruit and peach. They don't really know, but it was invented in 1893 by William Wrigley Jr. as a promotional freebie to go along with baking powder.
I'll be darned.
Isn't that crazy? One thing I always thought was interesting about just gum in general is they removed it from the shelves because they wanted to include it in all the World War II soldiers' rations.
Wow,
So
another
they-
interesting
yes,
side note.
very interesting. And Wrigley, genius marketing, Ryan, don't get any ideas. They mailed gum to every single person in the phone book in order to
Wow.
promote it. Can you imagine that?
Holy smokes!
What a great marketing thing that is. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back. Check out our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY auctions with an S.com. You can even check out all of our Donley Auctions Unfiltered podcast episodes at donleyauctions.com/podcast.
Well, here's something else interesting is that in our upcoming auction in August 16th, we call it our Summer Classic, we have all kinds of coin-operated gum dispensers also.
Yes. Mint, gum, vending machines.
And gum balls.
Peanut, little peanut machines and everything. So we have tons of those.
Tons.
Anything you put a coin in, we pretty much have it coming up in our August 16th.
Tons of them.
Tons of 'em.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we have tons.
I don't know about that, but we have a lot.
Here's another little bit of useless information. Aaron Paul, from Breaking Bad, and Julianne Hough were all in Juicy Fruit gumball ads before they were famous.
I'll be darned.
I never knew that.
Wow. More interesting trivia, and we've got more for you. Visit our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. I wanted to throw the gauntlet over to Ryan right now because we have all kinds of good toys in this auction. And in particular, I noticed the cast iron toy banks, the mechanical banks. So when you put a coin in the bank actually does something.
It's some sort of they articulate, they move, or they have movement.
Yeah.
And what's the banks that we have in this upcoming auction are not the repops that were. These are the real deal. Hard to come by examples. I think one of them is the cat jumping rope. There's about seven or eight of them.
Little magician. I mean, we have a half a dozen extremely rare mechanical banks. So if you are a mechanical bank collector out there, you really need to go ahead and look at our website. Go to donleyauctions.com and look at the whole auction, because the mechanical bank collection that we have is really good pieces, very, very rare.
And if you have some at home and you're not sure if they're reproductions or not, again, send it to us. Consign at donleyauctions.com. Send us some photos. We'll take a look and we'll let you know what your next steps are. And those banks that we're talking about are lots 1040 to 1044. They're at the beginning of the auction on Saturday the 16th.
I'll be darned. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty early number for something that valuable. That's interesting, because what we always try to do, too, is figure out the right mix of items as to when valuable items should come up in an auction, or the variety, how often you put toys versus advertising versus cars. Everything has to have a flow to it.
That's right. Yeah. And even though I said it's lot number 1040-1040, we don't start the auction at lot number 1. We're starting the auction at lot number 1000. And the rate you guys go as an auctioneer, Randy, our auctioneers can do anywhere from 60 to 90 lots an hour, depending on how fast the bidding goes.
That's correct. And, we normally try to stay around 70 to 80 lots an hour, so it's not too slow, not too fast. So, as you just said, if you're trying to figure out, what time something's going to come up in an auction, you can always figure that is
I would say 70 to 80 lots, or give us a call and we'll let you know. Because I did have somebody say, well, it's not till lot 1200. That's going to be later in the day. And I said, nope, we start at lot 1000.
Yeah.
So it was really 200 lots into the day, which was only a few hours. So
that's correct.
That was a good question, I thought.
Yeah. So not only do we have banks, toy banks, but we've got many, many other interesting toys. I saw a wind-up robot the other day. I was looking at our catalog. Interesting piece.
Oh yeah, that is really eye-catching.
The Cragston robot.
It's that's a real sharp one.
Visit our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. So, Ryan, we were just at the Kane County Toy Show, you and I. We had a booth set up there. Yeah. And I was really surprised at how the toy show has changed from years ago when I went there with my father, taking me as a kid to the toy show. I mean, I remember it having all kinds of old cast iron toys and pedal cars and bicycles and tin toys, tin wind-up toys and everything. And I didn't see any of that at the toy show, this toy show. It was all what I refer to as modern blister card toys. I mean, Star Wars and things like that, which I guess really aren't modern, but to me as a collector, I look at it and I say, oh, this is all new stuff.
When I think of, collectible toys, in my mind, I think of cast iron, wind-up tin. I don't think of stuff from the 80s, but because I was born in 1982. So, again, it doesn't seem that outdated, but certainly, as you just said, how many times did we hear that comment when we're at the show that, oh my, the show's really changed. There's no cast iron.
Right, but what I find interesting, I mention this a lot too, that when my father was a collector in the 1960s, what he was collecting was from 1910 and 1920s.
Yeah.
Well, that was only 40 and 50 years old. So if you take 40 or 50 years from 2025, we're looking at 1985, 1975. Right, so of course, the merchandise changes.
Oh yeah.
If we're always looking at that, 40, 50 year period, we'd only be looking at the 80s or the 70s today as far as being collectible.
So Ryan, in your opinion, what is collectible in the toy world right now?
Well,
what should we be looking for?
What we like is the wind-up robots, the tin litho, the cast iron. There is some value, certainly, with modern Star Wars.
Actually, some big value.
Yeah,
I've seen some auction prices, where single items are going for $10,000 and $15,000. It's just the fact that collecting has changed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what I want everybody to know out there, though, is that even though collecting has changed and modern collectors are looking for something maybe newer than we're selling, what we sell, there's still a big market for.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, cast iron, arcade toys, Arcade the manufacturer from, where's that, Freeport, Illinois?
Yep.
So arcade and tin wind-up and everything, although it's not necessarily what the young collectors are buying, it still has great value to the old-time collectors, people my age that are in their 70s, so to speak, because we're still out there buying.
Yeah, and that's honestly, that's the material that genre person isn't really going to be interested in Star Wars or anything like that.
Sure.
So yeah, certainly there's a lot of marketability in both aspects. But again, when I think of antique and valuable toys, that's what I think of. But again, I don't want to say the minute you start discounting a genre is when you hit, but this one got the big money. So
we know a Game Boy cartridge recently went for $15,000. I never saw that coming. But I do want everybody out there to know that, again, your toys that you collected up still have value, but because of that age difference and that collecting shift that we see with people collecting more modern items, prices, of course, have been reflected in that. And that is toys that were valuable 15, 20 years ago are probably worth less today than they were 15 or 20 years ago, because just like any supply and demand situation, there is more supply right now than there is demand, and the prices have become less.
Softer.
Now, one thing we always caution you about out there, if you have items for sale, you don't want to play the best guessing game. What's it worth? Well, if you put it in your garage sale and you guess that something's worth $10 or $15, you could be selling something worth $1,000 or $1,500 if you play that guessing game. You need to call us or email us, or what's the best way, Susan?
Yes, let me give you that email again. It's consign, CONSIGN, at Donley Auctions with an S.com. Send us photos, little bit of information, and where you're located, and we will definitely reach out to you and let you know about next steps. But I had a question, though. about Pokemon. What is all of this going on with the Pokemon cards?
It's another aspect of the card collecting genre that is absolutely exploding.
That's what
I go to some of these card shows, and several of them. The ones down south have 2,000-3,000 people, and I prefer baseball cards. I like sports cards. I prefer vintage, which means 70s back. But I'll tell you that probably 60% of the people there are into Pokemon, and there's a load. I see lots of cash exchanging hands for these cards.
Really?
And I'm just sitting there, they're walking past Mickey Mantle and they're buying them, and it's.
Well, I have to say, my son's 34 years old, and given the difference between buying Pokemon or buying cast iron toys, he's going to go for Pokemon for sure. I mean, I remember when he was just a young kid, he was already into it then, and he still is a collector today.
And that's exactly how it happened for me. I started collecting sports when I was, since I can remember, which is about 4. But it's one of those things that I've just always collected. And honestly, pre-COVID, it was pretty soft, especially stuff from the 80s. And now, like over this last night, Ryan Sandberg again, one of my childhood favorites, who passed. One of his now this is a 2025 Topps autograph card, so it's rare and it's graded PSA 10. It got almost $900 last night. Now I'll tell you, before Ryan Sandberg died and before 80 started popping, you could have got anything Ryan Sandberg for his rookie card would have been like $100. So his stuff has gone to the moon, and it seems like that everything from when I grew up, what I liked, is hot now.
Well, to that point, it is my understanding that the record the record price for a Pokemon card now is over $5 million, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind when you're selling at your next garage sale. You do not want to sell items for $5 or $10 that could potentially be worth $5 million. So,
well, and to that point, that's part of the service that I offer, because a lot of times people encounter these collections. They're not the people who initially collect them. So here they are with a collection, and they don't know what they have.
Sure.
And, whether it's coins, jewelry, whatever it is, I know what to look for. And basically, with jewelry, for instance, anything 14 karat is 58.5% pure gold, so you could figure out its melt value right there. However, if it's Tiffany, then it's going to be double or triple that, sometimes a lot more. Van Cleef, a lot more. So knowing these mint markers, knowing what to look for, same thing with coins, knowing the Carson City, knowing the 1909 SVDB. If you know what to look for, it saves a lot of time. And that's just kind of what I've been doing this for a little bit now. And
well, sure. And we definitely have some gold jewelry coming up in the auction in August. August 16th is our extravaganza. And we definitely have gold jewelry in that.
But I also saw that we have a nice collection of gold watches coming up. We don't have a date set for those yet because they are magnificent. What do you know about that, Ryan?
I've seen them. There's over, I believe over 100.
Yeah.
And they're all gold. They're all ornate pocket watches. Beautiful, handcrafted.
Pocket watches, okay.
So we have to believe, before we do all our research and everything, that they'll probably go for more than scrap.
Yeah.
But at the bare minimum, when people have gold-cased watches, they're at least worth scrap.
Yep.
At how much an ounce is gold? Over 3,000 now?
Yeah, like 3,300.
Yeah, and that changes by the day.
Yeah.
Wow. Give us a call, 815-923-7000 right now if you got a gold pocket watch at home.
Susan heard the price of gold and got excited.
I got to go check in my jewelry box.
A little gold goes a long way. And even silver, too. Silver, we're approaching $40. And when I started buying this, and people were telling me I'm nuts. I was buying it at $14, $15, $16. Now it's $40. They've been calling for 40 since I've been collecting. So
nice investment.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back.
Send photos of your items or collections to consign@donleyauctions.com. That's CONSIGN at Donley, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com.
Did want to bring up this favorite item of mine. It's a shoe shine station that is lot number 1121. And Randy, you said you had some little bit of information on that one.
Oh, I do. I mean, this was acquired by us out of a lawyer's office, of all things. Why they had a shoe shine stand in a lawyer's office, I couldn't tell you. But I do think it started its life in a train station in Chicago.
It did. And so I thought I would just learn a little bit more about shoe shining in general. And what I learned is that they're having an annual shoe shining competition this year in New York on the Upper East Side on October 4th. Can you imagine? It is serious business, folks, to be a shoe shiner. But the other interesting thing is, as many people know, World War II soldiers were issued shoe shine kits.
That they were.
And that is because they said polished boots were a mark of professionalism. So there's a lot of history behind shoe shiners, and we even have a Mr. Shoe Shine 25-cent slot machine in this auction coming up August 16th. So I thought a little polished slice of history was in order to talk about that and see if we could segue into military talk.
Which is our next auction after the Summer Classic. Our gun and military auction is coming up in September.
It sure is. September 20th and
21st, yeah. With the second day, the 21st, being military collectibles.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I'm currently looking for old guns and military items for upcoming auctions. Old helmets, uniforms, swords, flags, and daggers from any wars are always sought after, but World War II items of American, German, and Japanese armies are always top sellers. If you have old Japanese samurai-type swords that a relative brought back during the war, call me because you could be sitting on a fortune.
But you won't know until you give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Or you can send us photos at consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. Well, I want to jump from small things you can hold into your hands to big, giant items we have coming up in our August 16th Summer Classic, and that would be bars and back bars. Randy, this is one of your favorite topics, one of your favorite categories with lots of experience in bars and back bars. We have
not
two
because
of them.
I hang out in a bar.
No,
I want you to know it's
No.
because ever since I've been a teenager, I have actually been in the business of buying and selling antique bars and back bars, and I have literally moved hundreds of bars and back bars out of their old original locations all over Cicero, Berwyn, the Chicago suburbs, and I've traveled all across the country for a good bar and back bar. The premier company that manufactured bars and back bars was Brunswick, and they were right on Superior Street in Chicago. So I have actually sold a bar here, Gene Autry's bar we had here, that we brought here from California. Gene Autry owned this bar years and years ago, but the bar was originally made in Chicago. So the bar started its life in Chicago. It went out to California, then it went to Las Vegas, then it came back to California, then it went to St. Louis, then it came to Donley Auctions in Union. Yeah. Then it went way back out, I believe, to Louisiana.
I think so.
So this bar has traveled across the country. What a pedigree this bar has, but again, starting its life right here in Chicago.
Well, I wanted to give you a little history on Gene Autry for those who may not even know who he is, right? I had to look him up because I wasn't sure. But he was born in 1907. He passed away in 1998. He was the American singing cowboy. He was an actor, a musician, and a singer.
And he's best known his singing career, I think, for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, he was also in black and white movies, which I never watched.
Oh, he made so many Westerns. He was the singing cowboy, And if you didn't know Gene Autry, then you're probably under 40 years old. And anybody would know Gene Autry, and he had a phenomenal Gene Autry Cowboy Museum for years.
And just to throw in my sports, he was also the Angels owner from 61 to 97.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Good to know.
Interesting.
So we have 2 bars. We have that mahogany front bar coming up on August 16th, and then the Brunswick style single arch saloon bar and back bar that's actually from the Wild West town.
That was part of the Wild West town for
many
45 years, and it's so cool. We had bar stools that were made of saddles, actual saddle that you would sit down in, and we used to serve sarsaparilla at our bar.
I remember.
At the Wild West town in the good old days. We're selling it off now at this auction coming up in August 16th.
Yes, August 16th. Again, check our catalog on DonleyAuctions.com. Go to our website. There's a big red button there that you just click on. It'll take you to our bidding platform. You can even type in the word bar, saloon, back bar, anything like that to easily find it. Otherwise, it's lot number 1199.
Right, but keep in mind, if you know of one or have a bar, Randy still wants to go move one more bar out of its original location.
Send us photos,
yes,
for sure.
Please.
That'd be great. At consign@DonleyAuctions.com. Let us know where it's at. We would love to take a road trip to come see an old bar somewhere that needs some TLC.
Also any type of architecture. We're always looking for huge chandeliers or leaded windows or that type of thing. So
well, how about that leaded window that came in the other day?
I think we talked about that in our last show, which is a phenomenal window. It is 9 foot tall, 6 foot across. And we're going to be talking more about that with other shows coming up because it's going to be for sale in our October auction.
October is our fall classic. So we pretty much have a huge classic style auction every season.
You bet.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So I want to get one more thing into this show because we touched a little bit about cars, but we have a 63 Vet. Yeah. 63 Corvette for sale in this auction that we really need you to go online, go to DonleyAuctions.com and look at this Corvette. It's gorgeous.
Yep.
And you know what else I want? More cars. I want some more cars for our October Fall Classic. So definitely call us at 815-923-7000. Again, I will keep pounding this into your heads. Consign at Donley Auctions. You need to call us. Pull the trigger. Call us. We'll tell you what to do. Thank you again for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday at 7 p.m. For now, I'm Susan.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Randy Donley.
And we'll see you at the auction.